I'm the best? I'm the best in the world. These words resound like a battle cry from CM Punk, one of the most controversial and influential wrestlers in wrestling history. But was he really the best in the world? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the amazing videos we'll be releasing. Punk was known for his ability to connect with fans in a way few others could. His legendary pipe bomb promo left an indelible mark, in which he declared, "I've got a lot of things I want to get off my chest." He was always a voice for change, both on screen and behind the scenes, but that same defiant attitude began to take its toll on his image, alienating a portion of his fan base. Fast forward to 2011, and the climate in WWE was changing. Punk felt underutilized, and his contract was set to expire before the Money in the Bank event. It was the perfect setting for a rant. In a moment that would become legendary, he dropped his infamous pipe bomb, where he launched into a direct critique of the state of WWE, naming Vince McMahon's legacy and his family in brutal terms. No one had ever spoken so openly about the company's problems, and his words resonated with a weary and disappointed audience. Punk's speech left many fans feeling like there was finally someone representing their frustrations. Amidst this revolution, Punk emerged as a megastar, sparking a narrative that felt real and moving. His rivalry with John Cena intensified, and the tension between the two was palpable, making each exchange all the more impactful. It was as if Punk was the voice of the voiceless, expressing the truths that many had already heard. That night in Chicago, the crowd went wild as Punk defeated Cena to win the WWE title, kissing Vince McMahon goodbye. He became an instant icon, but ironically, that glory would be accompanied by frustration. Despite holding the title for an impressive 434 days, Punk was often overshadowed by bigger stars like The Rock, Triple H, and Cena himself. This only intensified the fans' loyalty to Punk and their contempt for the way WWE treated him. Then, in January 2014, with WrestleMania 29 approaching, came the shocking news. CM Punk had left WWE. The man who had called himself the voice of the people was no longer among those fighting in the WWE ring. And this is where the real soap opera of CM Punk's life begins to unfold. After his sudden departure from the WWE scene, he made a memorable appearance on Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast. Known as a talented wrestler and Punk's best friend, Cabana offered him a safe space to air his frustrations. In what became one of the most impactful podcasts I've ever heard, Punk didn't mince words when criticizing WWE. He revealed shocking details, including the medical error that nearly cost him his life. Misdiagnosis of a MRSA infection, coupled with WWE's refusal to provide him with the necessary treatment, became part of the narrative that led to Punk's decision to step down. In his final meeting with Vince McMahon and Triple H, he expressed his determination to step down, listing the reasons why he hated working for the company. Punk also didn't hesitate to mention his tensions with co-workers like Triple H and Ryback, highlighting a tumultuous relationship that took its toll on him behind the scenes. To make matters worse, Punk was fired on his wedding day, a moment that WWE knew would be significant, as his wife was still with the company and needed time off for the big day. This controversy only added to Punk's controversial status in wrestling. The fans who had supported him in his fight to transform WWE now joined him in a mission to dismantle what was wrong with the company. Punk's love for wrestling seemed to have come to an end, and he saw WWE as the cause of his disillusionment. After years of hard work and dedication, he realized that he was on top of the mountain, but there were always people ready to bring him down. For 7 long years, fans were eagerly awaiting the return of CM Punk, who saw him as the true defender of WWE. Although he was absent, his legacy continued to resonate. The revolution he started did not stop. As WWE became increasingly alienated from its fans, many began to seek new forms of entertainment in wrestling. In this landscape, New Japan Pro Wrestling emerged as a powerful force, with Bullet Club establishing itself as the most influential faction in the entire scene. The success of NJPW and the stars that emerged from Bullet Club, such as Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and the revitalized Cody Rhodes, caught the attention of Tony Khan. Tired of the WWE's approach, which had become a veritable sports entertainment institution, fans were ready for a change. And so, All Elite Wrestling was born, with Khan shaping a new promotion that promised to rival WWE and give voice to those who wanted a revolution in wrestling. In its early years, AEW exceeded all expectations, bringing together legends like Chris Jericho and up-and-coming talents like MJF. Audiences finally found a wrestling program that resonated with their emotions and experiences. The fans Punk had always championed in WWE, the ones who felt voiceless, began tuning in to Dynamite. Punk's voice evolved into something even greater, reflected in a promotion that celebrated true wrestling lovers, and it was clear from AEW's success that his revolution had touched millions. Despite AEW's impressive growth, fans continued to dream of Punk's return to the ring. With AEW established as the second largest wrestling promotion, that dream finally came true. On August 20th, 2021, CM Punk made his AEW debut, a moment that brought tears of joy to fans as he returned to wrestling after nearly a decade. The man who started the revolution was back to lead the charge, delivering memorable matches against the likes of Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston, and most notably, MJF, who quickly became a fan favorite. However, in May 2022, something started to change. Punk entered a feud with the AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page, and everything seemed to be going well, with typical taunts being exchanged. But on the May 25th episode of Dynamite, when the two giant baby faces faced off face to face, the tension became palpable. Page expressed his displeasure with Punk, stating that he would protect AEW from its challenger. While this interaction might have seemed like a typical promo to many, there was something about the atmosphere that bothered Punk. During one of the most tense promos, Adam Page made a surprising accusation against CM Punk, stating that while Punk publicly advocated for workers' rights, his actions behind the scenes told a very different story. "You talk a lot about workers' rights, but since you've been here, you've shown the exact opposite." The statement, while strange, was not entirely unusual in the world of AEW, which has often sought to bring a touch of realism to its narratives filled with accusations and confrontations. However, Page's words hit Punk in an unexpected way, revealing deeper fissures between them. This tension was already palpable, especially after months of backstage friction between Punk and the Elite. Many members of the Elite believed that Punk had a hand in AEW's decision not to renew Colt Cabana's contract, especially considering the animosity between them. However, during the main event of Double or Nothing, Punk and Page were able to put the differences aside. At that event, Punk won the AEW World Championship, but not without cost. He suffered a foot injury, which sidelined him and led to Jon Moxley being crowned interim champion. When Punk returned, he wasted no time in reclaiming his status as the true AEW World Champion. A match between him and Moxley was scheduled for the next edition of Dynamite. And surprisingly, Punk made a dig at Adam Page, even though Page wasn't present. This contextless dig made fans wonder if there was something darker going on between the two. Then on the August 24th episode of Dynamite, Punk faced Moxley in a title match. What was supposed to be a big match ended up shocking everyone when Moxley defeated Punk in a quick squash match, leaving the crowd stunned. While Page wasn't mentioned, the build-up to the match felt odd, especially with All Out approaching, and this match potentially being a huge main event. Around that time, AEW's reputation began to crumble. An angle involving MJF criticizing the company generated backlash, culminating in his own version of the infamous pipe bomb. This development, coupled with the strange build-up to the matches and Punk's behavior, led many fans to suspect trouble behind the scenes, and unfortunately, they were correct. Following the rematch between Moxley and Punk at All Out, where Punk regained the world title, the post-event press conference was the center of attention, but for all the wrong reasons. As one of the main guests, Punk used the platform to air his frustrations about the company's internal issues. He opened up about his strained friendships with Colt Cabana, expressed discontent with the Elite, and didn't shy away from talking about his personal grudge against Adam Page. CM Punk's anger was expressed in his famous quote,
"I'm hurt, and I'm old, and I'm tired, and I work with children."
This outburst not only exposed the real-life drama that was going on at AEW, but it also carried special weight as Tony Khan, the company's president, stood by him, unable to respond as it all unfolded. The backlash was immediate and shocking, catching even those backstage by surprise. After the press conference, Punk found himself face-to-face with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. What began as a tense conversation quickly escalated into a brawl, involving not only Punk, but also Omega, Matt, and Nick Jackson, as well as Ace Steel, who was standing next to Punk. The consequences were drastic. All involved were suspended, and both Punk's world title and the Elite's newly won trios titles were stripped. This situation created a significant divide between those who supported the Elite and those who supported Punk, a rift that resonated among the fans and echoed in the locker room. During his suspension, Punk underwent surgery to repair the injury he suffered during his match at All Out, leaving him off TV for a total of 9 months. The confusion surrounding the events has left AEW, despite the critical success of All Out, forever marked by Punk's actions. The situation was further complicated by Punk's absence, and Tony Khan found himself in a delicate position, trying to mediate the tension between the Elite, who helped found AEW, and Punk, the company's biggest star. With relations between the parties deteriorating and Punk's return looming, Khan made a controversial decision. If he couldn't get everyone together in one place, he would physically separate them. Thus, AEW Collision was born, a new weekly Saturday night show that would be Punk's home while the Elite would remain on Dynamite. This decision only deepened the division within the company, bringing together other stars with whom Khan had conflicts, such as Andrade and Miro. On the debut of Collision, after 10 months away from the spotlight, Punk made his triumphant return and began a promo about the future, mentioning that he still held the AEW World Championship, which had been vacated. He did not hesitate to take a swipe at the Elite, proclaiming that he would never compromise, declaring, "I'm the real deal in the business full of counterfeit bucks." While this was a promising start to Punk's new Collision run, the situation soon deteriorated. Over the following months, as he formed rivalries with Ricky Starks and Samoa Joe, his backstage animosity with the Elite continued, resulting in his decision to ban certain wrestlers from appearing at Collision. Behind the scenes at AEW, CM Punk began acting like a dictator, banning anyone who wasn't on his side from entering the building. Personalities such as Dolph Ziggler's brother, Ryan Nemeth, Matt Hardy, and even Christopher Daniels, head of talent relations, were banned from the show. Fans soon realized that they were all friends of the Elite, intensifying the tension between Punk and the rest of the roster. This animosity reached a peak during All In 2023, the biggest show in AEW history. A new backstage brawl erupted when Punk denied Jack Perry the opportunity to use real glass at Collision. Perry, determined, ended up using real glass from a car during his scene at All In 0 Hour, and before breaking it, challenged the camera. "This is real glass. Are you going to cry?" After the match, as he walked through the curtain, Perry was confronted by Punk. The conversation quickly escalated, leading to Punk throwing the first punch, sparking yet another brawl, in which he ended up choking the former Jungle Boy. As he made his way to the gorilla position for his match against Samoa Joe, Punk yelled, "I hate this place." It is rumored that he even attempted to attack Tony Khan after the incident. Given the gravity of the situation, Khan had no choice but to fire Punk, following the unanimous recommendation of AEW's disciplinary committee. In a statement, Khan expressed regret for the incident, noting that the safety of those backstage, including the production team, was at risk. While CM Punk has been a beloved figure until recently, the public's fondness for him wasn't just for his in-ring prowess. Punk's famous pipe bomb, a controversial promo, captivated fans by ushering in a revolution in professional wrestling. And while fans loved Punk, the hope for true change was what truly elevated him to one of the biggest stars of his generation. But what about you? What do you think about CM Punk? Do you love him or hate him? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. See you next time.